channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess. Today is Top 5 Wednesday, and I'm actually really excited for today's Top 5 Wednesday because it is books you have purchased because of Instagram or Bookstagram or whatever, you know, like all of the hype books. And I'm totally with this because I have read so many books because of Instagram that I either really didn't like or really loved, but honestly I didn't start reading YA until about a year ago. So all of the recommendations that I have were from my best friend Rosie, and she has been like really into YA for a really long time, and she follows like a bunch of authors on Twitter, Instagram, things like that. So all of the books that I've read pretty much in the last year have either read from her or hype that I have seen on BookTube or Bookstagram, because I have been following BookTube and Bookstagram for a long time. I just haven't participated in it. So really every single book that I'm going to show you today is a book that I picked up because of hype from either Bookstagram, Instagram, or my best friend. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do like these videos, let me know what other kind of videos that you would like to see from me. My October is pretty booked. The creative juices have just been flowing for October, but I don't really know what I have planned for the rest of the year. So if there's anything specifically that you would like to see, let me know. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. I have so many new subscribers recently. Like, I literally wake up every day and I get like notifications from comments and things like that. I just was not expecting anybody to really like my little side of BookTube. So thank you so much. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. I'm just looking around because I'm just trying to find it. It's like really any book that I have on here. The first books that I'm going to start with are my favorite trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. It is the Grisha trilogy. This is Shadow and Bone, the first book from the series. I absolutely loved this series. This is one of the ones that I read that actually lived up to the hype. And I needed to include these because Leigh just announced that she's actually going to be doing a Nicolai duology, and I'm really excited for that because I fucking love Nicolai. Other than the Darkling, he's my most favorite character ever. So I'm very excited to read those as well. But this series definitely lived up to the hype for me, other than just fucking hating Mao. Mao was my least favorite character to this day. Probably not my least favorite character in a novel ever, but definitely my least favorite character in this series. So I absolutely love this one, and I'm really glad that I picked it up, and I'm really glad that Bookstagram recommended it to me. And another series that actually really panned out for me, I probably don't love this as much as I thought I did when I first read it, but I still do really like it, and I absolutely love the author. It is the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I loved these books when I read them. I still hold them very dear to me because when I was reading them, I was coming out of a reading slump, and these just kind of like took me out of it even further. So these lived up to the hype for me. Alucard is my favorite character in this entire series, as well as Kel. I did not like Lila at all. I found her incredibly annoying, but I still really love this series. And once again, I'm very glad that Instagram recommended this to me. Who would I be if I didn't talk about this series? I think everybody can kind of say that Bookstagram, Instagram kind of recommended it to them. It is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I fucking love this series. The first book I gave, I think when I originally read it, like 5 stars, but I went back and changed it to 4 after I read Aftermath. But I absolutely love this series. Aquawar was really missed for me, but I still am very thankful that Instagram suggested this to me. I have obviously read the Throne of Glass series, and my best friend actually recommended that to me, so I'm not going to be including that here. But Instagram, you know, after she got me into Sarah J. Maas, Instagram definitely hyped this book up so much that I just had to pick it up, and I ended up absolutely loving it. Now, I do not have the first book from this series, but I did want to include this series as a whole. I do plan on actually reading this book, not in October, but probably November, unless I finish all of what I read before. But it is Gemina, the Illuminae Files, I guess is technically what it's called. This is book number 2, but obviously I read the first one. That was such a hyped book on Instagram, and it proved to be the #1 book so far that I've read this year. I fucking loved it. But this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I loved this series so much, and that was definitely one of the books that I kept seeing on Instagram, and the covers are just really beautiful. And usually on Instagram, that's sort of what you see first, and then you kind of decide like, okay, that book is pretty, like, do I want to read it? And then you kind of read the description from what people are saying about it and decide whether or not you want to read it. And I did, and I am so fucking glad that I did, because I absolutely loved that series. Here's another book that I had picked up because of Bookstagram, and well, I actually owned it beforehand, but it was kind of like a splurge that I did on Amazon, and I bought a bunch of books, and you know, I had this one, but I hadn't read it yet, and then I started seeing it floating around everywhere on Bookstagram, and I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna read it, because I was before gonna unhaul it because I just never read it because I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not. I'd heard mixed reviews about it, like on Goodreads and things like that, but once it started circulating around Bookstagram, I did finally pick it up, and I'm kind of sad that I did because I did not like this book at all. I thought that, I don't know, it just was really hit or miss for me, and I don't know if it's because it's contemporary, but it is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. If you guys follow this channel at all, you will know that me and Rainbow don't really get along. I, for some reason, don't like her writings very well. She wrote a short novella called, not novella, but like a short story called Kindred Spirits, which I really did enjoy. But that's the only thing by her that I have liked so far. I'm currently reading Carry On and liking that, but we'll see how I feel at the end of it. But this is a book that was very, very hyped on Bookstagram. It is the reason why I ended up finally picking it up and reading it, even though I did own it, and it was quite disappointing. So I know that was kind of a short video, but honestly, I'm really tired. Do you guys ever get like that? So yesterday I got up at like 1:30 in the afternoon because yesterday was my like sleep-in day, and then I ended up going back to bed at like 3 o'clock until, well, probably about 2:30 until like 5 p.m., almost like 6. I was just really, really tired yesterday, so this video is kind of short because I really just want to take a nap. I don't know if you guys ever get like that, but I really want to sleep. Today is one of those days. It's kind of gloomy. I don't know if you can tell from the lighting. The sun's definitely out, but there's a lot of clouds, so I don't know, I feel like today's just the perfect day to take a nap. But I hope you guys are having a good week. Like I said before, subscribe if you like what I'm posting. Leave me comments on what kind of videos you guys would like to see. Obviously there's a bunch of like tags and stuff going around BookTube, but I just meant more like content specific stuff. Like I obviously have the Hype or Not group, but I want to know what you guys would like to see. So let me know. But I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!